I hesitate to have the quartet quit. Whatever they're playing is much better than what I will say. If you would please sit. Thank you for standing. Good evening, everyone. And on behalf of the Board of Trustees of Baylor College of Medicine, I welcome you to the graduation ceremony. We're so pleased to have all of you here, and that we all know that this is a tremendously special occasion for the lives of the students as well as for many of the families in the room as well. Like you, I'm very proud to be part of an institution that is ranked in the top 25 medical schools in the country, but I know in our hearts is #1 and brings the highest GPA in the country to this school. So we're very fortunate to be part of that tradition, part of that accomplishment, and to continue it with all of our recent graduates. I'm going to introduce Paul Klopman, who I'll have stand up in a couple of seconds. Many of you know him already. He's in his 4th year as CEO of the Baylor College of Medicine. Paul, as many of you know, has a tremendous passion for excellence. He understands the importance of academic medicine in his heart and soul, and how critical it is really to a global society, not just to American society, but with all of Baylor's initiatives around the world and all the affiliations that have initiatives around the world. We all understand how important it is to making this world much better. I just would like to express our best wishes on behalf of the Board of Trustees to all of the graduates. We wish you tremendous success and much happiness in your lives. And with that, I'll have Paul Klopman come up if you could welcome him. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim. It's great to be here with the other members of our Board of Trustees who are with us this evening. I'd like to introduce them to you. If they would stand and please hold your applause. Sally Anderson Clark, Corby Robertson, and Lester Smith. Please join me in recognizing them. Thank you. Baylor's outstanding educational programs involve the efforts of many people. Joining me on stage are the members of the Academic Council, our deans, associate and assistant deans, and Dr. Robert Lehman, president of the Baylor College of Medicine Alumni Association. These leaders, along with the Baylor faculty and administration, and the leaders of our affiliated hospitals, all play a vital role in Baylor's educational mission. Will the members of the faculty and administration, both on the stage and in the audience, as well as our affiliated hospital leaders, please stand to be recognized? Please go ahead. Great. A little bit more would help. We don't pay them enough. This is the only gift they get, is a little applause. Finally, I'd like to personally recognize the families and friends of our students. Your support was vital in helping them to reach this day. I know the graduates join me in thanking you for all you've done for them, and I'd like all the graduates to please stand up, turn around and face your family, and give them a round of applause. So, students, please stand up. All right, that's enough. Great. It's a very decorous evening, as you can tell. You know, one of the things about the families, we're all applauding back because they know that finally you're going to have a paycheck. Tonight you enter the next phase of your life. Beginning tomorrow, you'll be responsible and accountable for improving the lives of people and advancing scientific knowledge of our world. Your deans and faculty members have trained you to be outstanding scientists and physicians, and they also have trained you to be exceptional leaders. As our nation continues to have thoughtful discussions about funding for patient care and biomedical research, we need scientists and physicians like you to join that discussion and help shape health policy. From my view, advocacy is more than simply supporting a cause. It's making an impact on your local and global community, and we expect you to be thoughtful leaders who will advocate for change that will make the world a better place. I know personally that many of you have been advocates for a variety of causes during your time at Baylor. We want you to continue to push the limits and boundaries and follow your convictions. We need leaders like you who will embrace a future filled with opportunities and tackle challenges in medicine and science. Tonight, we will present a Distinguished Service Award and honorary degrees to 5 outstanding individuals who have each made a distinctive mark in our community. These honorees were selected to serve as role models for you. Each has phenomenal achievements in their lives that have enriched their communities in the field of academic medicine. They have all used their talents wisely and well, and have given back to others without hesitation. They are living their lives based on their convictions to make the world a better place. Just like you, each of them began their careers with goals and dreams, and they turned those dreams into reality. Tonight, you become alumni of Baylor College of Medicine, an institution that places tremendous value on collaboration, integrity, and professionalism. Use these as guiding principles throughout your life. I encourage you to take time to imagine what you can accomplish in your career tonight. You have the foundation that will allow you to make any possibility a reality. It's now my pleasure to turn the program over to Dr. Alicia Monroe, our new Senior Dean of Education and Senior Vice President of Academic Affairs and Faculty Development. Dr. Monroe.
Thank you, Dr. Klotman. It is my pleasure to invite Julianne Lee Cloud Karstens, representing the Graduate School of Biomedical Sciences, to offer remarks on behalf of tonight's PhD graduates.
Today we celebrate the achievement of learning how to think, for that in essence is exactly what our doctorates in philosophy are. During our few, or for most of us many, years at Baylor, our mentors have taught us how to recognize important problems, how to ask critical questions, how to answer those questions, and then figure out what to do with those answers now that we have them. We have been taught to think like scientists, a way of thinking that was difficult to learn and even more difficult to implement. It is now up to us to do something with this priceless skill of thinking. The knowledge base that has been imparted to us at Baylor specifically pertains to the biomedical sciences. Yes, one could argue that this is a study of disease and death, but I, and would hope our fellow physicians would agree, prefer to see it as a more literal definition of the name. We study life and the discipline of enriching the quality and longevity of that life. It is through this definition that the something we must do becomes clear. We must use our skill to enrich the lives of those around us. This mission is confirmed through the sources of wealth that funded our education, national and international governments and foundations, as well as small private donations from many even here in this room. These entities represent society as a whole, as if the whole world is asking us to see the problems that everyone sees and to fix the problems that no one has yet been able. As a cancer biologist, this responsibility to my family, friends, neighbors, and even complete strangers drives me. Yes, most days I would probably attribute my drive to insatiable curiosity or the passion for truth. But on the days that nothing has worked in the lab, I have no idea how to fix the problems that are overtaking me. I am exhausted, and I just want to give up the whole illusion of science. I walk home through the medical center. I see the patients hoping and praying for cures, and I show up to work the next day to figure it out. Because now that we know how to think, it is our responsibility to do so. Of all the important skills we have learned in order to master the art of thinking, one of the most critical is humility. Oddly enough, humility is not an attribute that one would commonly associate with a prominent scientist. But I have discovered that humility is a critical first step of finally making progress. For if we do not have the humility to admit we do not know the answer, we have no clue what we are doing, that we may have made a mistake, or that our conclusions were wrong, we will never learn, mature, and progress our field, and have essentially become useless to the world that hangs so much hope on our success. For some of us, the first term coursework firmly grounded this concept. Others, including myself, took several exercises in failure before it sunk in. But none of us would have ever learned how to think without the humility to ask questions and the humility to receive the answers. So how do we apply our new skills in thinking? The ever-growing pool of postdoctoral scientists has opened new opportunities for well-trained thinkers than was ever envisaged. A few of us will follow the traditional paths of postdoctoral training, starting your own lab, and working your way up through the ranks of full professorship and tenure at a research institution or university. Many of us will focus primarily on teaching and passing on the skill of thinking to future generations. But there aren't enough of these classical positions, especially as funding gets more and more competitive. What about the rest of us? How do we meet our responsibility to society and use our thinking skills? Some will become writers, editors, and publishers, taking on the responsibility of disseminating valuable findings to other scientists and the world. Many will take on the task of translating laboratory findings to clinical applications by joining pharmaceutical companies. Some will join other aspects of biotech and develop new technological breakthroughs that will revolutionize the most challenging assays we perform today. Others will become medical liaisons, clinical trial organizers, experimental administrators, federal policy writers, patent attorneys, and the list continues. What have been formerly termed alternative careers have created an intricate network of skilled thinkers, many of whom are successful Baylor alumni. It is in the building of this network of thinkers that will finally allow us to tackle the problems that society asks. For society assigns tasks that are too daunting for a single scientist. For instance, find the cure for cancer. That is like asking an ant to cross a 6-foot chasm. It cannot be done alone. But many ants, each doing a small part, can build a bridge that will get us there. And I, as unscientific as it may sound, believe we will get there. We will make serious breakthroughs in cures for cancers, and we will do it together. So today I challenge you to be collaborative, to be humble, to be imaginative, and whatever you do, to keep on thinking. Thank you.
Thank you, Julia. Now I'd like to invite Ben Ma, President of the Class of 2014, to share remarks on behalf of tonight's medical school graduates.
Excuse me, I'm a little bit under the weather. Is there a doctor in the house that can help me out a little bit? So, the first thank you of the night goes to the Baylor College of Medicine administration for putting together such a beautiful ceremony, and everyone in attendance in joining us to celebrate such a momentous occasion. After 4 years, and for some of the more ambitious among us, even more, the eagerly anticipated day is finally here, and it is truly fantastic. The next thank you goes to all the people who make and define Baylor family. From the deans, the professors, and the mentors to the support staff, thank you for putting up with all of our neurotic tendencies, for helping us accomplish our goals. More importantly, I want to thank my classmates for 4 amazing years of crazy memories. We have bonded through adversity, we have grown together as a community with the only people who can truly understand what it took to actually get here today. We finally earned it. There are definitely a variety of memories to reflect upon from the very beginning. I remember the first meeting with my classmates and making awkward small talk. I remember learning from a wise and dynamic histology professor for the very first time, and it really just scared the snot out of me. I even remember hearing about how Baylor has a new president to lead the institution. I think he turned out pretty well. I remember vividly that on one of the first days of medical school, my class was told that these next 4 years would be some of the most arduous but rewarding years in our lives. We were given the spiel about being the cream of the crop, the best in the nation, and very high standards were set for us that day. These standards, each of us then stepped up our games to achieve. It was very inspiring. But I also remember being taught that these 4 years need to be selfish years for us. We need to ask our friends and families for their understanding if we're a little bit preoccupied with school and neglect our relationships a bit. Well, I see now that while the intention is good, the reality is that there will be absolutely no way that we could succeed, and honestly no reason to, if it really was all about us. So, today, as we celebrate great accomplishments, on behalf of all my classmates, I want to thank each family member here. Every mom, every dad, every spouse, every sibling, and every friend who has supported us through these years. Thank you for your understanding as we catch up on our sleep and miss important life events. Thank you for your patience and hearing us out as we air complaints which are neither interesting nor coherent. Thank you for your encouragement as we face our own limitations and need you to pick us up. Thank you for your love in supporting us in everything we need and far more than we deserve. Our accomplishments today are your accomplishments because without your investment of time, energy, and efforts, there really is no way we could be here today. Thank you, friends and family. Lastly, and most importantly, our biggest thanks of the night should be given to the most important people who have shaped these past years for us, our patients. From our silent teachers in anatomy lab to each one we've had the privilege to know in our rotations, thank you for trusting in us and literally investing in us with your whole lives. Thank you for pouring out your carefully guarded secrets into our hands and allowing us to share some of the most vulnerable moments in your lives. Our most treasured memories in med school revolve around some of your most difficult moments, and for that, we are forever grateful. You are the proof and the constant reminder that our success today is not defined by the letters behind our names, the numbers on our paychecks one day, or even the institution on our diplomas. No, our success and our prestige goes only as far as we can touch other people's lives and advocate for those who cannot do so themselves. So, Baylor College of Medicine class of 2014, let us celebrate and be thankful. With the support of everyone here and many, many more, we finally achieved our dreams. Thank you.
Thank you, Ben. It is now my pleasure to introduce our 2014 honorees who have provided outstanding contributions to education, science, and medicine. Dr. Frank Kretzer is Director of Anatomical Sciences at Baylor College of Medicine. He received his undergraduate and graduate degrees in molecular biology from the University of California, Los Angeles. He then completed postdoctoral fellowships at UCLA and Hadassah Hospital in Jerusalem. In 1976, he was recruited to Baylor and began teaching the histology course in the basic science curriculum. He also co-directed the core human sexuality course, which was the first course to introduce the pivotal role of small discussion groups. He led the vision, vestibular, and auditory lectures in the core nervous system and the core surgical ophthalmology lectures. Dr. Kretzer has received numerous teaching awards. In fact, so many I understand that they had to change the rules so he couldn't keep winning them. From the medical, graduate, allied health students throughout his career, as well as the Barbara and Corbin J. Robertson Jr. Presidential Award for Excellence in Medical Education from Baylor. Yet, all these awards and accomplishments only scratch the surface of Dr. Kretzer's impact at Baylor College of Medicine. Over the past 38 years, he has formed the foundation and shaped the careers of an entire generation of physicians trained here. He embodies everything it means to be an educator, and his teaching style can be summed up in 2 words: positively elegant. Please join me in recognizing Dr. Kretzer. It is now my honor to announce the recipients of Baylor College of Medicine honorary degrees, which represent excellence in our missions and serve as an inspiration to our graduates. The people we chose to honor speak volumes to our expectations for you, our graduates. Mr. Lester Smith, will you please join me? Lester Smith has served on the Baylor College of Medicine board since 2004. He is a tremendous advocate for the college. He has raised community awareness of the college's bladder, prostate, and breast cancer research and treatment programs with spirited events and successful fundraising campaigns. In 2007, Lester and his wife, Sue, donated $30 million to Baylor's Breast Cancer Center, which was renamed for them. They also support prostate cancer research and the Lester and Sue Smith Urology Clinic. The Smiths are true philanthropic leaders in the Houston community and strong advocates for the underserved. With a $15 million grant, the Harris Health System opened the Smith Clinic in 2012, which includes state-of-the-art equipment for breast cancer patients. In 2004, the Smiths founded the Honor Your Father campaign for prostate cancer research at Baylor. This year-long fundraising effort impacted thousands of lives, becoming the single largest fundraising event in the history of the college, raising a record-breaking $6.4 million, including a match by the Lester and Sue Smith Foundation. Numerous Houston organizations have honored the Smiths for their immense philanthropic spirit, their kindness, and their true affection for all the citizens of this community. In March 2013, Sue and Lester received the prestigious Woodrow Wilson Award for Public Service presented by the Woodrow Wilson International Center for Scholars. Dr. Klopman, it is my honor to present Mr. Lester Smith as a candidate for the Honorary Doctor of Humanities in Medicine.
So upon the recommendation of the faculty and by the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Baylor College of Medicine, I confer upon Lester Smith the honorary degree of Doctor of Humanities in Medicine and admit you to all its rights, responsibilities, and privileges. So lots of awards, but only one degree.
Mr. Adam Walmus, will you please join me? Mr. Adam Walmus was appointed Director of the DeBakey Veterans Affairs Medical Center in 2009. He has served in several VA facilities during more than a 30-year career, beginning in Houston in 1981 and then moving to VA medical centers in Dublin, Georgia, New Orleans, Louisiana, followed by a position at the Department of Health and Human Services in Washington. He is responsible for managing one of the nation's most complex VA medical centers for more than 3,700 employees and an annual budget of $760 million. In addition to caring for more than 130,000 veterans in Southeast Texas, the DeBakey VA also serves as a regional and national referral center for cardiac surgery, liver transplantation, traumatic brain injury, epilepsy, radiation therapy, and spinal cord injury. Mr. Walmus was recognized by the VA Secretary with the VA Diversity and Inclusion Excellence Award in 2010 and the Alternative Dispute Resolution and Diversity and Inclusion Excellence Award in 2011. Throughout his years at the DeBakey VA, Mr. Walmus has been a remarkable supporter of our education, patient care, and research programs. Our trainees who rotate through the DeBakey VA have the privilege of caring for veterans in a facility with the highest standards for quality of care. Dr. Klopman, it is my honor to present Mr. Adam Walmus as a candidate for the honorary degree of Doctors of Humanities in Medicine.
So once again, upon the recommendation of the faculty and by the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Baylor College of Medicine, I confer upon Adam Walmus the honorary degree of Doctor of Humanities in Medicine and admit you to all its rights, responsibilities, and privileges. Congratulations.
Oh, gosh.
Was that a comment that I'm short? Just keep getting it up.
Dr. Peter Polizzi, will you please join me? Dr. Polizzi is an internationally recognized microbiologist who pioneered the field of reverse genetics for negative strand RNA viruses, which allows the introduction of site-specific mutations into the genomes of these viruses. This revolutionary technique has significant implication for understanding and preparing for infectious disease pandemics. Dr. Polizzi received his PhD in chemistry in 1969 from the University of Vienna. He was a postdoctoral fellow at the Roche Institute of Molecular Biology and subsequently joined the Department of Microbiology at the Mount Sinai School of Medicine in 1971. In 1987, he was named professor and chair of microbiology at Mount Sinai School of Medicine. He has more than 270 scientific publications that include research on the replication of RNA-containing viruses with a special emphasis on influenza viruses. Dr. Polizzi established the first genetic maps for influenza A, B, and C viruses, identified the function of several viral genes, and defined the mechanism of neuraminidase inhibitors, which are now FDA-approved antivirals. Dr. Polizzi was elected to the National Academy of Sciences in 2000 for his seminal studies on influenza viruses. He also holds memberships in the Institute of Medicine, the Austrian Academy of Sciences, the German Academy of Sciences in Leopoldina, and was recently elected a fellow in the American Academy of Arts and Sciences. Dr. Klopman, it is my honor to present Dr. Peter Polizzi as a candidate for the honorary degree Doctor of Letters in Medicine.
Upon the recommendation of the faculty and by the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Baylor College of Medicine, I confer upon Dr. Peter Polizzi the honorary degree of Doctors of Letters in Medicine and admit you to all its rights, responsibilities, and privileges. And be sure you get next year's flu vaccine right. He picks it every year.
Thank you, Mr.
Dr. Jeffrey Sachs, will you please join me? Dr. Sachs serves as the director of the Earth Institute, professor of sustainable development, and professor of health policy and management at Columbia University. He is also the special advisor to the United Nations Secretary General on the Millennium Development Goals. Dr. Sachs received his PhD from Harvard and is widely considered to be one of the world's leading experts on economic development and the fight against poverty. His work on ending poverty, promoting economic growth, fighting hunger and disease, and promoting sustainable environmental practices has taken him to more than 125 different countries with more than 90% of the world's population. For more than a quarter of a century, he has advised dozens of heads of state and governments on economic strategy. Dr. Sachs works closely with international organizations, including the African Union, the Asian Development Bank, the African Development Bank, the Islamic Development Bank, the World Health Organization, the United Nations Development Program, the World Food Program, UNAIDS, and the Global Fund to fight AIDS, TB, and malaria. Dr. Sachs is the recipient of many awards and honors, including membership in the Institute of Medicine, the American Academy of Arts and Sciences, the Harvard Society of Fellows, and the Fellows of the World Econometric Society. Dr. Klopman, it is my honor to present Dr. Jeffrey Sachs as a candidate for the honorary degree, Doctor of Letters in Medicine.
Upon the recommendation of the faculty and by the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Baylor College of Medicine, I confer upon Dr. Jeffrey Sachs the honorary degree of Doctor of Letters in Medicine and admit you to all its rights, responsibilities, and privileges.
Dr. Sachs, can I put some down?
Tonight's commencement speaker leads the Earth Institute at Columbia University, an organization that brings together the people and the tools needed to address some of the world's most difficult problems, from climate change and environmental degradation to poverty, disease, and sustainable use of resources. By blending scientific research, education, and practical solutions, the Institute is working to help guide the world into a path of world sustainability. There can be no greater advocate for the missions of education, research, and healthcare than this evening's speaker, who is regarded internationally as the voice for the poor. Please welcome me in welcoming Dr. Jeffrey Sachs, our commencement speaker.
Finally, a bit late perhaps from my mother's point of view, but now she has a child with a medical degree. I'm profoundly grateful to Baylor College of Medicine for that. In truth, my mother has had it much better all along. As she likes to say, she has every mother's dream. Her child married a doctor 34 years ago. My wife Sonia holds the hard-won medical degree in the family, the kind that all of you graduates have done so much to earn today. I have long been the other kind of doctor, a social science PhD, the kind who looks longingly and enviously at real doctors and great researchers who heal patients. Indeed, I believe that the healing arts are the very finest arts of our civilization. In my own cultural tradition of Judaism, the highest calling is tikkun olam, or to heal the universe. The greatest medieval Jewish sage, Maimonides, was also a doctor. It is no coincidence. I've loved the field of medicine since I first encountered it as a young child. It is the combination of all that is right, the worthiest of causes, using advanced scientific knowledge, profound technological know-how, differential diagnostic skills worthy of Sherlock Holmes, offering an invitation to human compassion on a person-to-person basis, and involving a moral commitment worthy of the angels. a profession that begins with the solemn oath handed down for 2,500 years has something going for it. We now understand that in dealing with human health, we are dealing with an extraordinarily complex system, the human body, composed of some 37 trillion cells, each with a genetic blueprint of some 3.2 billion base pairs. In each of our brains, there are an estimated 200 billion neurons and perhaps 125 trillion synapses. In every cell, the subcellular organelles combine to carry out cellular processes. The cells, in turn, combine to form tissues, tissues to form organs. Organs combine in organ systems, and organ systems together produce a functioning human body. Each level emerges from the complex interactions of more basic units. Health, illness, and survival depend on the nature of those complex interactions. Of course, the interactions don't stop there. Indeed, for me, that's where they begin. As a social scientist, I'm involved with the levels of organization of whole individuals as they combine to form families, as families combine in communities, communities in nations, and nations into what is now a global society. Additional properties emerge at every step, and the quality of the interactions of individuals, families, communities, and nations determine the health, illnesses, and even survival of our species. I've been focusing all my professional life on the question of how to foster healthy societies, and I have found clinical medicine to be the correct template, offering up a model of what I have called clinical economics. Just as you need to make a differential diagnosis when your patient goes into shock, I need to make a differential diagnosis when an economy spikes a runaway inflation, or a banking panic causes credit to stop circulating, or a cancer of corruption eats away at the healthy institutions of the society. Economic development practitioners, like medical doctors, also confront crises of chronic undernourishment, when an entire impoverished society lacks the basic resources of energy, foodstuffs, and foreign exchange to maintain the metabolism of daily life. The most important thing I've learned as a clinical economist is that we need to have the same care and respect for societies as doctors must have for their patients. Suppose that an impoverished patient comes into the ER at mortal risk of starvation. We know that it is not the time to lecture the patient about proper eating habits or to berate the patient for having missed the chance to get a job or a high school degree several years back. The urgent need is to attend to the emergency and then gradually to nurse the patient to physical health and then ideally to social health as well with an improved life plan. The same applies when a country is facing an economic or public health emergency. When a country is overcome by an uncontrolled epidemic such as HIV/AIDS, or a banking collapse, or an acute budget crisis, the first order of business for the world community is to help the hard-hit country to survive. The crisis is not the occasion for sanctimonious lectures or even benign neglect. If the world simply stands by when a country is being swallowed by an economic crisis, the result can be violence, epidemic disease, mass migration, or worst of all, outright war. I have long found that a true emergency room response, an injection of international aid to stabilize the floundering economy, can repay itself many times by helping that country to avoid a descent to chaos and helping it to make a speedy recovery. Too often, however, we consider the suffering of others, quote, not our business. Pope Francis has recently powerfully described this as the globalization of indifference. Of course, any sound cure depends on the right diagnosis. In the late 1990s, as I worked in Africa as an economic advisor, I found that the best laid macroeconomic plans were being overrun by epidemics of AIDS and malaria. To stabilize the economy, one first had to control the epidemics. That was not the standard economic prescription, but the AIDS epidemic was not the standard crisis either. Several giants of public health, including your own Dean Peter Hotez, one of the world's premier parasitologists, helped me to understand that the pandemics could be controlled, and controlled at low cost. We worked together to convey that information to ministers in finance and health around the world. We were able to propose new institutions such as the U.S. PEPFAR program to combat HIV/AIDS and the Global Fund to fight AIDS, TB, and malaria. Those programs have helped to roll back these killer diseases. And with Professor Hotez's guidance to expand the public health efforts to combat many other tropical diseases in Africa and Asia, such as helminthic infections and dengue fever. Shockingly, many of those same tropical diseases of poverty exist right here in Texas and throughout the Gulf of Mexico, and Professor Hotez and the National School of Tropical Medicine at the Baylor College of Medicine have taken up the fight here at home. Let me briefly address another major challenge of astounding risk. The planet Earth itself has a fever, and the fever is rising. In 1880, Earth's temperature was 13.8 degrees Celsius. Since then, it has risen by 0.8 degrees to 14.6 degrees in 2013. Now, you might consider that a low-grade fever, but you should know two things. First, the prognosis is not good. The current projections are that our patient, Earth, will spike a 4 to 6 degree fever by the end of this century. Second, Earth is already reeling under its current fever. Earth is experiencing both record-setting fevers and intense chills, such as the polar vortex that plunged the East Coast into extreme cold weather this winter, while other parts of the planet were experiencing record-breaking heat waves. As the Earth's physical systems are increasingly disturbed, the climate system is becoming increasingly variable. To an untrained observer, a rise of 4 to 6 degrees Celsius might not seem much, but as a doctor, you'd surely know to worry. At the lower end of the range, you'd worry about delirium and seizures. At the higher end, about permanent brain damage. And even with a low-grade fever, you would worry that the underlying condition may be causing great harm and perhaps running out of control like a fulminant disease. Scientists have recently found that part of the West Antarctic ice sheet is already inevitably slipping into the ocean, enough to raise ocean levels by a meter or more in the coming decades or centuries. I've watched and listened to my wife attend a fever in the middle of the night hundreds of times. Her systematic questioning, complex reasoning, and decisive life-saving actions are awe-inspiring. Can we afford to do less with Earth itself? Can we really stand to have our most ignorant politicians, or politicians on the take, say they don't really believe the thermometer, or that fevers come and go, so not to worry, or that a little fever is, after all, a good thing? Of course we can't afford that. At your graduation today, we celebrate science, rigorous training, and a passion for excellence, not political quackery and corruption. In fact, this time around, the differential diagnosis is clear. While many things can cause the Earth to spike a fever, such as changes in solar irradiance, changes in the Earth's orbit, or changes in the El Niño Southern Oscillation, in fact, there is only one diagnosis consistent with the Earth's current fever. Starting about 2 centuries ago, Earth went on a high-carb diet. That is, a carbon-based energy diet. We have been feeding coal, oil, and gas into our economy and carbon dioxide into the atmosphere in supersized proportions. Last year, we released 35 billion tons of carbon dioxide into the air, the Earth's lungs, as part of the planet's voracious carbon diet. This diet will kill us if we don't change our energy consumption patterns. There are much safer energy diets: wind power, solar power, hydropower, or even nuclear power if properly managed. There are even ways to consume high-carbon energy safely, a kind of power plant dialysis known as carbon capture and sequestration. In fact, there are many possible cures. It's only the status quo that is unacceptable. So today, on the day that you become a medical or research doctor, please also become a doctor of the planet. Please care for the world's poor. the world's unstable and suffering crisis zones, and physical Earth itself with the same rigor, professional care, and moral commitment that you will apply to your patients. You join the healing arts at a moment that the world needs your skills, passion, and virtue. I feel confident that your patients and our planet will be safe in your hands. Go forth in excellence. Let me thank you again for this extraordinarily high honor to join your ranks today as a member of this treasured medical community. And most importantly, please accept my congratulations to all of you, friends and family, and especially graduates of the class of 2014.
Thank you, Dr. Sachs, for joining us tonight and sharing your thoughts with our graduates. At this time, I'd like to recognize our graduates who have also completed educational certificate tracks. Please hold your applause until all the groups have been introduced. Graduates, please stand as I call your group and remain standing. Diploma in Tropical Medicine, National School of Tropical Medicine. Care for the Underserved. Ethics. Genetics. Geriatrics. International and Global Health. Medical Management. Medical Student Research, and Space Medicine. Please join me in congratulating the achievement of these graduates. You may be seated. And now I'd like to invite Dr. Deborah Johnson, Dean of the Graduate School of Biomedical Sciences, to present the candidates for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy.
Good evening, Mr. Hackett, members of the Board of Trustees, President Klotman, Dr. Monroe, and honored guests. I have the great privilege of presenting to you at this time the candidates for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, the nation's highest academic degree. In addition to demonstrating scholarly achievement of the highest level, each candidate must complete an original and substantial research thesis. As they come forth to receive their degrees, it is traditional for the student's mentor, the faculty member who has served as the student's major advisor, to accompany the student to the stage and place the doctoral hood on their student. Each of these candidates has satisfactorily completed all of the requirements for the degree. On behalf of the faculty of the Graduate School of Biomedical Sciences, I am pleased to recommend that you confer upon each the degree of Doctor of Philosophy and admit them to all its rights, privileges, and responsibilities.
I hope you're catching a theme here. Upon the recommendation of the faculty and by the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees, I'm the only guy who can do this. I confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Philosophy and admit you to all its rights, responsibilities, and privileges.
Justin Lauren England. David Lynn Beavers. Tyler Franklin Beck. Sona Budiraja. Matthew David Bernstein. Kimberly Marie Carlson. Julian Lee Cloud Cardsons. Jose Roberto Casanova, Jr. Wu Lin Charn. Nimrat Chatterjee. Shan Chen. Katerina Clementi. Ronald James Cotton. Randy Farrell Crossland. Cameron Shea Cowan. Dun Dun Quay. Ryan Patrick Duran. Gloria Vuitton Echeverria. Monica Deanna Garcia. Taiko Inoue. Kristen Lorraine Carlin. Woo-Suk Kim. Gedra Crinsida. James T. Liu. Mahim V. Mamonkin. Amber Dawn Miller. Valentine Ongieri Milian. Edward Roshan Miranda. Anjana Narayanan. Mentron Charlotte Vu No Howard. Allison Elizabeth Ober. Jia Ping. Fernanda Renee Ruiz. Sunandan Saha. Beatrice Adriana Santillan. Ting Ting Sung. Elizabeth Villegas. Maria Viskovska. Brigita Dewi Wasuwiyanatias. Jing Zhao.
Dr. Mary Brandt, Associate Dean for Student Affairs, will now administer the oath of Hippocrates.
It is truly my privilege and honor to ask the class of 2014 to rise. I would now like to ask all physicians in the audience and on stage to rise to take the oath with this year's class. Please repeat after me. I do solemnly swear by whatever I hold most sacred that I will be loyal to the profession of medicine and just and generous to its members. That I will lead my life and practice my art in uprightness and honor. That into whatsoever home I shall enter, it shall be for the good of the sick and the well, to the utmost of my power, and that I will hold myself aloof from wrong and from corruption and from the tempting of others to vice. That I will exercise my art solely for the cure of my patients and the prevention of disease, and will give no drugs and perform no operation for a criminal purpose, and far less suggest such a thing. That whatsoever I shall see or hear of the lives of men which is not fitting to be spoken, I will keep inviolably secret. These things I do promise, and in proportion as I am faithful to this oath, may happiness and good repute be ever mine, the opposite if I shall be forsworn. Congratulations to you all.
Dr. Stephen Greenberg, Dean of Medical Education, will now present the candidates for the degree of Doctor of Medicine.
Mr. Hackett, Dr. Klotman, Dr. Monroe, Dr. Butler, and honored guests. I have the high honor and privilege of presenting To you at this time, the candidates for the degree of Doctor of Medicine. They have satisfactorily completed all the requirements for the degree. On behalf of the faculty and the Board of Trustees of the medical school, I am pleased to recommend that you confer upon each candidate the degree of Doctor of Medicine and admit them to all its rights, privileges, and responsibilities. Please refer to page 17 of the commencement program for the order of investment of hoods and presentation of diplomas by student mentor and advisor groups.
So you've heard this before, but if I don't do it, they don't get a degree. So I'm going to do it just for you family out there. So upon the recommendation of the faculty and by the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Baylor College of Medicine, I confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Medicine and admit you to all its rights, responsibilities, and privileges. And as we call the students up, I just want to say one other thing. There are times in life when decorum is very important, and this is not one of them. So we want to hear it when they're called up.
Christopher Chen with honor. Santiago de la Garza. Tyler Devonis with honor. Michael Ernest Evans. Carissa Marie Fritz. John Stanton Hamblin. Christy Lynn Hamilton. Kirk Thomas Hill. Benedict Oyedikachuku Ifedi. Geoffrey Sewada Chabuli. Russell Philip Libby. Jupin Mully. Muniza Kuvo Mohammed. Shaya Maroli. Joseph Andrew Nelson. Ernest Wachuku Jr. Vaniha Fuke. Jason Matthew Preissig. Melissa Lizette Sanchez. Scott Alexander Saunders. Joshua Aaron Turkletop with honor. John Christopher Behrens with high honor. Spencer Kirk Craven. Adam Embry Dell with high honor. Francis Michael Felice. Reem Jamal Hussein. Shaolin Jia with high honor. Justin Benjamin Lance. Hiren Danny Lee with high honor. Aisha Mukesh Patel. Mitchell Allen Peterson with high honor. Mullen Thara Shiralkar. Priyanka Shara Singapu. Wow. Sean Edward Sitton with honor. Andrew John Thompson with honor. Stephen Kyle Thornberry. Andrew Jeffrey Tritter. Rosana Marie Velasquez. Stephen Joseph Wallace. Afia Lehan Wang. Brittany Caitlin Wise. Nadir Zumani with high honor. James Marcellus Berry III with honor. Melissa Erin Bender. Ryan Thomas Carter. Haley Klein Chopra. Melanie Elizabeth Del Beccaro. Megan Marie Albon. Brandon Reese Hull. Lauren Jennifer Jiang. Shumila Narundan Kwaja. Lauren Michelle Krennick. John Kent Lynn with honor. John Morgan Micheletti. Neil Rothik Parikh. Prasanth Pudasupu. Henry Hallyu Rand. Megan Severson with honor. Ruchi Sharma. Linda Lon Tang. Adrian Wang. Kylene Wood. Lauren Renee Anderson with honor. Richard Chase Ozine. Anish Bavishi. Elizabeth Rossman Beal with honor. Stephen Thomas Bellows. Kevin Jonathan Caceres. Chase Gordon Culver. Giselle Marie Almeida Dutcher. Thomas Campion Ince. Paul Brett Fishbook. Tal Fung Christy Hallett. Aditya Jaluri. Sheena Monique Knight. Stephen Wen Lee. Yushin Lin. Zain Ben Ma. Thomas Raymond McCarty III. And John VL with honor. Madiha Ahmed. Sabiya Ansuri. Vatsala Madhuri Ariratna. Tuan Chen. George Wesley Culler IV. Christopher John Deochoa. Neha Sanjeev Deshpande with highest honor. Kimberly Maria Farr. Eric Barnes Hamill. Ryan James Jeffrani. Jonathan Charles Konopensky. Sarah Elizabeth Militello. Tyler Owen Murray with high honor. Christopher Bartlett No with honor. Anish Ashvin Patel with honor. Jiyapuram Prasant Prasad. Manasa Surasani Reddy. Mary Michaela Rieger with honor. Matthew Stephen Wilsey. Myra Pearl Wong. Jason Zhang. Michael Scott Abers with high honor. James Park Berg. Jacqueline Mary Chang. Christoph Han George Fuchs. Mackenzie Lauren Green. Kathy Ching Hee. Sonia Vidyahar Hede. Brittany Nicole Hodgson. Donna Shaw Huang with honor. Hassan Kamran. Brennan Connor Lang. Nathan Andrew Patterson. James Dongbo Tang. Joshua Marvin Woolard with honor. Matthew Zhang. Kelly Elizabeth Aylesworth. Marianne Elizabeth Bainan. Chris Miguel Jokno Kahipe. Martin Thomas Gonzalo Duncan. Brian Miguel Manuel Gilcrease Garcia. Andrea Elizabeth Carl Lee. Abhinav Khanna. Laura Rosalie Knott with high honor. Anirudh Kumar. Santiago Nicholas Lopez. Tammy Peck. Mariana Ivan Palacios. Shane Sissy C. Nestor Orlando Arita. Hannah Rebecca Bear. Emily Janet Baharamahi. Jessica Lynn Bulofsky with high honor. Matthew Tyler Coker. Ella Janet Dorgy. E.C. Eskenazi. Rickard Jacob Fantis with highest honor. Danielle Yvonne Guslin. Gregory Allen Horton, Jr. Varun Kumar. Mary Elizabeth Lomax. David Joseph Luke. Jeffrey Rogan Nuns with high honor. Jonathan Sung Soo Pak. Sunil Rajahanan Lali. With high honor. Lorena Elizabeth Rainier. Tamara Schiff. Rachel Ann Sievert. Drew Stahl. Amelia Adams Crawford. Sharif Karimboy. Jennifer Robichaud McKinney. Tommy Shue. Rachel Wilkins Davis. Lizette Priscilla Gomez. Andrew Wilson Harrell. Jasdeep Singh Mongit. Michael Adam Polini II. Eric Matthew Wolfswinkel. Bartley Joseph Gill. Christopher Michael McGraw. Pedro Rebello Olivetti. Ryan Henry Roche.
Congratulations to all of our graduates. Remember, in everything you do, you represent the Baylor College of Medicine. Go out and continue to make us proud. Please stand for the benediction. Dr. Virgil Fry, Executive Director of Lifeline Chaplaincy, an organization that has been providing spiritual support to families and patients at the Texas Medical Center since 1983.
I ask you to join me in prayer. Creator God, we acknowledge our immense gratitude for this evening's gathering, an evening formally signifying the threshold of graduation for these students. As we conclude this celebratory milestone, we are grateful. We are grateful for the school's resources of faculty, staff, facilities, and donors, all dedicated towards the healing arts, toward the betterment of our world through research and medical practice. We are grateful for each student who prayerfully assumed the physical and financial toll of multiple years of intense study, and who tenaciously carried out the challenges of rigorous, medically focused education. We are grateful for families, friends, formative teachers, and supportive communities who make this educational pursuit and tonight's celebratory completion possible. We are grateful that each graduate acted upon inner promptings of healing the immense hurts of fellow humans, a spiritual calling that reflects the best within all of us, a calling so needed in our world of brokenness, illness, and mortal limitations. We are grateful for the absolutely marvelous intricacy of our bodies, the microscopic and cellular mysteriously woven together in an entire system of incredible metabolic complexity. Bodies we inhabit as home to thoughts, emotion, spirituality, and the unbridled soul. We are grateful, Holy One, for all these reasons that bring us together this evening. We pray specifically for the well-being of each graduate, for each one's dedication to healing, that you would continually foster a rewarding sense of delightful duty in their vocations. We also pray that those who entrust themselves under their care will be respectfully treated as valued sojourners. Bless us all in the myriad ways you are made known. God, as we depart this place, we are grateful. Amen.
Thank you, Dr. Fry, and my thanks to all of you for being with us tonight. At this time, I'd like to ask our graduates to exit the auditorium to the lobby to meet your family and friends. Will the audience please wait until the graduates have exited? Thank you.